This is the Mainframe Connect podcast, brought to you by the Linux Foundation's Open Mainframe Project. Sponsored by Phoenix Software International and by Infinity, a Converge company. Mainframe Connect includes the I Am a Mainframer series, the riveting Mainframe Voices series, and other content exploring relevant topics with mainframe professionals and offering insights into the industry and technology. Today's episode is another in the Mainframe Voices series, bringing together a diverse range of perspectives on mainframe technology and modernization from some of the industry's most respected voices.
Hello and welcome to a special episode of Mainframe Voices brought to you by the Open Mainframe Project, a Linux Foundation initiative. I'm Rahat, your producer for Mainframe Connect and the host of the Mainframe Voices series. In this exciting episode, we are diving into the world of TAC leadership, spotlighting the Technical Advisory Committee's pivotal role in driving open source innovation within the mainframe ecosystem. We have gathered a group of esteemed tech leaders to share their personal journeys in mainframe technology and their insight on how the tech is shaping the future of open source. From fostering collaboration to advancing technical strategies, our guest will highlight the unique value that tech brings to the global mainframe community. Let's hear from these exciting and inspiring voices as they share their perspective on leadership, innovation, and the next chapter of open source mainframe technology.
Hello, my name is Lauren Valenti, and I'm the director of our mainframe education, customer engagement, and our workforce resiliency programs at Broadcom. I have been in the software industry for about 25 years, holding multiple roles in marketing, development, and support at CA Technologies, now Broadcom. In my current role, I am focused on mainframe education and customer engagement. And what that means is more about the user groups, its user communities, our mainframe technical exchange events, and our mainframe strategic advisory council. And then I talked about the workforce resiliency programs. So these are programs for our customers to help them with their skills challenges, and that's the Vitality and the Expert program. I became interested in the mainframe technology through the positions I was in during my journey at CA Technologies, where I managed teams that worked with the consumer, distributed, as well as even mainframe solutions. I've always been impressed with how the mainframe platform stands out with its unmatched reliability, strong security, resiliency, and most importantly, its consistent availability. So the Technical Advisory Council within the Linux Foundation provides value, substantial value, to the open source ecosystem in a couple of ways. One, it provides guidance in that technical direction by aligning community efforts with emerging technologies, helping us streamline processes and avoiding duplication of work. This approach helps us enhance collaboration and innovation within the community. And speaking of collaboration, this is vital for driving progress. The Technical Advisory Council serves as a neutral platform where various projects and stakeholders, including competing companies, come together to share innovative ideas. And it provides an environment of creativity and accelerates the pace of innovation through the exchange of diverse insights. And it ensures that decisions are made in the best interest of the community rather than the interest of any single vendor. What truly resonates with me as part of the TAC leadership is the invaluable mentorship opportunities we offer. It's heartwarming to see how the TAC identifies and guides emerging projects, creating a nurturing environment for our individuals that are eager to engage in these technology initiatives that we have. It helps to ensure that the open source remains inclusive, transparent, and also welcoming. The Technical Advisory Council provides important technical support for the Linux Foundation projects. It sets the technical direction, organizes project work, and helps create a supportive and collaborative open source community. The goals of the TAC include coordinating collaboration and technical vision. So what does that mean? The TAC unites various technical projects so that it could shape a cohesive vision for the community. It facilitates communication where we enable collaboration among project participants across all projects. The TAC also guides and supports projects. We offer advice to help projects adopt best practices within the open source landscape. When it comes to approving technical initiatives, the TAC approves and oversees those various technical projects. The TAC also addresses technical issues affecting multiple projects or the community. So if there are any technical challenges, we bring in our subject matter experts that can help advise on them. The TAC develops processes for the life cycle stages of projects, from incubation to archival.
My name is Joe Bastian. I've worked on mainframes for probably the better part of 4 decades now. And I have a long history with open source on the platform in general. The last 10 years or so, I've spent a lot in the AI stack. And as part of that, we have to resolve a lot of issues where the mainframe and open source software sort of merge and come together. And that is not always a clean and easy process. It's certainly something that we've been working on for a number of years and have really tried to make much less sticky of an environment, a much more frictionless environment. And so I've just really enjoyed the last several years working through the Open Mainframe Project on various projects under the OMP umbrella to forward some of these kinds of solutions to problems that we find where these touch points occur between the mainframe and open source environments. There's a lot of promising work going on right now, a lot of interesting stuff that we've accomplished in the last 4 or 5 years, and I very much look forward to where we're going next. So I think the value that the TAC leadership brings to open source is just our ability to assemble a number of different experts, subject matter experts from various areas who bring a broad set of experience to the decision-making process of the Open Mainframe Project. We are all experts in our own individual areas, and we have a context in our backgrounds that gives us a certain perspective about how various open source issues relate to the mainframe environment. And many times there's a unique perspective that you have to have in order to resolve an issue in a manner that's consistent with the way mainframes have been used over the years. There's been lots of opinions about how the mainframe should evolve over time, how it should be modernized or simplified or in other ways changed to align more closely with various open source types of best practices, of various kinds of standards bodies and organizations that are out there. And I think the strength of the TAC at the Open Mainframe Project is just that we can come together with our collective experiences and come up with a much better decision about the direction that the Open Mainframe Project should take relative to these various issues. I've been pleased to see how things have worked over the years among the various sub-projects that are underneath the Open Mainframe umbrella, and just to see where sort of the creative minds in the mainframe space are going with some of the ideas that our group has had when it comes to understanding what the next open source issue is to resolve. There's a lot of talent here. There are some very, very good people who have some real passion for what they do, and some real good experience to inform the decisions that they make for their own individual project, and then also as they advise others on how to proceed with their own projects. I know that I've learned a great deal about open source in general over the last 4 or 5 years that I've been associated with the Open Mainframe Project, and I certainly look forward to doing more in the future with new and emerging types of sub projects that are in the pipeline, or are just at this point in time ideas that people are talking about that may eventually turn into.
Hi, my name is Tom Slanda, and I'm a program coordinator at the Linux Foundation, and I'm also a member of the project staff for the Open Mainframe Project. My background is in project management and in web development. I was first introduced to mainframes when I began working on the Open Mainframe Project, and so it's been a lot of fun getting to know so many different mainframe professionals and seeing all the different ways that the mainframe has impacted not only open source software, but also the Linux platform. So the TAC provides value to open source with its open governance. It builds trust with the community by holding public meetings and by publishing all of the meeting minutes on the TAC website. In addition, by including representatives from the different technical projects under the Open Mainframe Project, the TAC helps to ensure that the community's voice and feedback are incorporated into the technical vision and strategy set forward by the TAC. The mission of the TAC is to facilitate communication and collaboration among the technical projects. And some of the ways that happens is by doing annual reviews of all the different technical projects, and also by having an open agenda where members of the community or members of the technical projects can submit issues or questions, and those questions and issues are compiled and put together on the TAC agenda for the entire committee to discuss. And if there's any contributions that folks want to make, or if there's a new project that wants to join the Open Mainframe Project, that all happens at the TAC level as well. Some specific goals that the TAC has is to, number one, develop an overall technical vision for the community and the technical projects in the Open Mainframe Project. Number two is to create and maintain and amend the project lifecycle processes and procedures. This determines if a project is going to be active, incubating, or sandbox, and it's also the processes by which a new project or program can join the Open Mainframe Project. And then lastly, the TAC makes recommendations to the budgeting committee regarding the resource priorities for the technical projects. So if a project is in need of additional assistance or is having any kind of an issue, the TAC takes it as a top priority to help resolve those issues.
I'm Donna Hudi. I am the Chief Marketing Officer and Head of Business Development for Phoenix Software International. I've been here for, I think, coming up on about 8 years. Prior to that, I was Shares Executive Director for almost 5 years. I became interested in the mainframe when I became Shares Executive Director back in 2014. I'd worked in the financial industry in IT for the bulk of my career, but not on the mainframe, on the distributed side. And when I became Shares Executive Director, I learned about this whole other world that I didn't know existed. And I was fortunate enough to be embraced by the community and educated and brought along for the ride, and I'm still here. Technical Advisory Committee, or the TAC group, are members of the governing board and members of the Open Mainframe Project community. And they're very vested in making sure that the projects that fall within the Open Mainframe Project, not only moving forward and advancing within the ecosystem, but also making sure they're staying true to the Open Mainframe Project and what its goals and missions are. And so it's very interesting. I get, as in my role as the chair of the marketing committee, I am afforded the opportunity to be a fly on the wall and sit in on the TAC meetings that occur. In fact, there's going to be one today. A lot of what you see during those meetings are the different projects from within the Open Mainframe Project coming to the table and giving an annual status update to the TAC. And the TAC is afforded the opportunity to not only view the presentations to see what they've accomplished over the last year, what their plans and goals are for the coming year, but then they're also allowed to are afforded the opportunity to be able to ask questions of the folks presenting with regards to those accomplishments and the goals for the coming year. And it's very obvious when you sit and watch it that they're all very vested in making sure that the projects have what they need, and that they're moving forward in the right direction, for the benefit of the ecosystem. And based on the results of those presentations, there's usually an opportunity for the TAC leadership to vote as to whether or not a project should continue as a project within the Open Mainframe project. I've never seen one not be voted to continue, but I have seen ones where there may be a project that's struggling, maybe with membership and or leadership within the project, and the TAC takes an active role in working with that project to help them to correct those situations. And that's just how vested they are in it. So it's really interesting to be able to watch that whole process and see how it works, and to see, how everyone really cares about making sure that those projects that fall within the Open Mainframe project really are hitting the marks that they need to hit. The Open Mainframe project as a whole is very vested in not only advancing open source on the mainframe, they're also very vested in community, the community that is the open source community on the mainframe. And the TAC, those same goals that the Open Mainframe project as a whole has, the TAC does as well when it comes to their work with it, with the individual projects. And so I think that that's it's critical to make sure that everybody's on the same page, working towards the same goals.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mainframe Connect podcast and this episode in the Mainframe Voices series, sponsored by Phoenix Software International and Vicom Infinity, a Converge company. Like what you heard? Subscribe to get every episode, or watch us online at openmainframeproject.org. Until next time, this is the Mainframe Connect podcast.